Initiative Healer, Akashic Records, your galactic race soul family, those who guide you, those who protect you, past lives on Earth and elsewhere in the universe. Max 21D performs remote viewing, deactivating chips and code programming, raising the vibrations and healing this great planet. We are co-creating a better reality. You're listening to Wolf Spirit Radio.
Thank you, everyone, on being on the Max Steel Show. It's a great pleasure to come back to you once again on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. And 9 p.m. Wait a minute. I got to. I already messed up. Well, in United Kingdom, you know how it is. I think 5 hours ahead. Thank you for all being here all over the world, listening to Max Steel Show. I want to introduce my panel here. My wife, Nicole, my new co-host, Jennifer Martin. I want to thank Russ for being the #1 producer on my show ever in the world. Thank you, Russ. And I want to thank also Vanessa, my sergeant at arms. She keeps me in control. Not to say any bad words, but sometimes they squeeze out, but I try not to. Anyway, I want to thank also my other two guests that's going to be here. It's a testimonial about the Arcturian box. His name is Kenneth Schrader. Say hello, Kenneth. Okay, well, he's muted, can't hear. But anyway, it's okay. You'll come out in a minute. And also my friend Steve Hewitt, he was over here for a week. He helped me out, put the Arcturian box together, and he did a testimonial on Facebook on the 23rd, and I really appreciate for that. Also want to thank you, not Q, but you. His name is UJJWAL. It's hard for me to pronounce that. You know, I got problems with words. But I want to, before we let my co-host, my new co-host Jennifer, come in and speak her piece, I also want to thank the Wolf Spirit chat room, all the people that are always there when I'm here. I see there's a low audience. That's coming up little by little. And I want to thank the people in United Kingdom, Europe, Scotland, China, believe it or not, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, also South America, all the United States and Canada, my friends in Canada. I want to thank you when you always come here to support me. Now I'm going to open now with the first testimonial. I have 2 testimonials right here, right now with the Arcturian box. I want you to unmute yourself, Steve. I'll tell you what, I'll unmute you because it's okay, Steve. Tell us something about Tell us something about what you experienced with the Arcturian box.
Okay. Can you hear me good now?
Yeah, wall to wall.
This here is the Arcturian box that we built. This is a little bit bigger one, a modified one to help Max with a smaller one. He has it at his house. You turn this thing on, you'll get lights just like that coming. And when you talk, it recognizes your voice. When you get the green light, already have your question in mind, saying to please heal,
restore
what part that you need to restore. If you got several, After you ask for that one, turn it off, turn it back on, and ask for another one. And these boxes are great. Uh, I have very little back problems. Uh, my knees, uh, used to when I had to get on my knees, I'd have to crawl to pick myself up somewhere, lift myself up. No problems, no more. Uh, my shoulders, doctor told me I had bursitis in them. No more soreness in my shoulders. My sinuses are good. Uh, my hearing is improving. And my eyesight. I do wear bifocals, but it's going to take a little time on my eyesight. But I am reading smaller numbers, longer distances. And and I can't say enough about the box. And when I was with Max up there, he was such a great, good friend. And him and Nicole, I got to know them real good, and I sure thank them. They're like a brother and sister now. So, but the box is real. I mean, it's worth, it's worth it. It's worth more than what is that. And the box is great. It has worked everything on me so far, and I'm still working on some others. And some I haven't asked yet, but right now I'm just getting the main one. So, but as far as that, it's great. The box, the box is great, but please do not open this box, people, because if you do, you will lose all the layers in the box, and it won't work on you until you send it back to Captain Max Steel, and he has to reload it again. So don't be curious about it. Just and don't have no negative thoughts. Have some good positive thoughts. Have love in your heart, and this thing will work wonders. So, Max, I just want to thank you for having me up there, and the Arcturians. I want to thank them for picking me to come up there to help you. It's been a blessing. I made a good friend. I made a good lifelong buddy, and I got to see a lot of little things that people don't get to see that I know is real. So that's pretty much what I got to say right now. You know, if somebody wants to ask a question, that's fine. But we'll turn it back over to you, Max.
Thank you, Steve. That was very beautiful. I love you too, Steve. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
same here, Max.
Thank you for coming here to help me, and you took that out of your private life to come here, and I appreciate you very much. And thank you for helping me. You were a great deal of help. Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, I'm gonna unmute. I got second testimonial is Kenneth Schrader. When Steve went back to Cordell, Georgia, Steve stopped and gave Kenneth the Arcturian box that he had purchased. I want to let people know that on August 1st, the box will be $107.25. I can't do the shipping anymore. It's just hurting me quite a lot. But the parts have gotten really expensive, and I can't buy it. I don't want to buy anything from China because everything from China is not even worth putting together. It just falls apart too easy. I'm using American-made parts, and that's how I do it. So starting the 1st of August, the box would be $100 plus $7.25 for shipping, only in the United States. Everywhere else, it'd be $35 for if you allow me to send it by postal services, United States Postal Service. It'll cost $35. It'll take a little bit longer. If you want it faster, like FedEx or UPS, you're going to have to pay extra for that. I found out that South Africa it costs $123.12 for 1 pound going to South Africa FedEx. That's how much it costs. That's quite a lot. So, but in the long run, it will get rid of some of your illness, and it's cheaper than going to the doctor. I'll tell you that. Okay, so I'm bringing in Kenneth. Go ahead and you're welcome to the show, Max Steel Show, and tell her what kind of experience did you have.
Thank you, Max. Just to let you know, I do have the box. There it is.
Yeah.
And, I've been using it. Had it about 4 or 5 days. As soon as I got it, I started using it on my sinuses. My sinuses is awfully bad. I don't know if you've been watching me on film or not, but I can never breathe through my nose. I always have to have my mouth open and breathe. But this thing has done wonders for my sinuses. And as far as my mom, she's 86. She's had 2 knees replaced, and her right one was always hurting real bad. And she used the box twice. Now she's running around here she every time she comes through, she said, I don't have no pain in my knee. Don't have no pain in my knee. So that's great. So I don't have to hear her pain. So no, I'm very pleased with the box. The box is great. It does work. And anybody that want to purchase one, I would suggest that you do. Because like Max said, it's a lot cheaper than going to the doctor. And I don't go to the doctor anyway. So, I'd almost have to die to go to the doctor. And Max, that's about all. I'm using it on everything else. Okay. Mental, my mental probably, but no, it's a great box, and I really appreciate Steve going up there, and I appreciate you doing what you're doing, and that's about all it.
Thank you. I've been telling people that wait a minute, let me get that straight. I'm a little bit choked up on what y'all both said just now. I feel like crying, but I'm not gonna cry like a baby on live radio. But I want to thank you both, really, from my whole heart, to all of you that are experiencing the different illness that you had, and they're starting to go away. I just want to thank you for both of you for that. Now, I got to tell you folks that the Arcturian box is, the Arcturians told me about a week and a half ago when Steve was here, that the Arcturian box has to be custom made for each person. Yes, it's different from one another. They're all different on the inside. So they told me that I had to do that. So that's what I've been doing. So when I hear your voice just for maybe 5-10 seconds, it gets recorded in my subconscious mind, because I can go into my subconscious mind and it's like putting a recorder, rewind it and put it on play, and I'll be able to listen to the voice. I'll listen to the voice again in my thoughts, and then the Arcturians start guiding me how to make it different to everyone else. That's why these boxes are working, because because you are the original owners. Now, if you have, because you are like Kenneth, he's connected to his mom. His mom had him. So the bloodline goes passed on to bloodline. So I got a little surprise for you, Kenneth, and I'll tell you that after the show. Okay?
Okay.
So go, and thank you for being here. You can stick around for the next 2 hours. I'm actually recording my show here, my own, because I got a channel with BitChute, BITCHUTE.com, and I'm putting all my videos there, and I'm also putting on YouTube. Certain ones you're not going to see on YouTube for whatever reason I may come up with, but you'll be able to see it on BitChute, because The one I don't put on YouTube, you will see it on BitChute. We're more free there. We have more freedom there. Not like, YouTube. They don't like you. Just they take you down, but they ain't gonna take me down because I got BitChute too. And for those people that we've had problem with Facebook in the past, well, I recommend you join. It's called Me and We, MEWE.com. It's just like BitChute, but it's different than Facebook. And you'll be able to do the same thing you did on Facebook. You'll be able to do it also on Me and We. Okay. Now, go ahead and open your mic there, Jennifer. And I want to welcome you to the new improved Max Steel show. You being my co-host, and I'm so glad you're there with us. And I welcome you with all my heart and all the love that I have for you in the world, in the planet Earth. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me. Your family. I first found out that you and I and Nicole were from the same galaxy when I had a reading done with you, I guess, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
And you explained the 5-star system that we're from. And I'm not from the same planet, but I'm nearby, and that we came on the same ship.
That's right.
To Earth. We're both walk-ins. And I remember telling you when I was 5, because I was a walk-in at 5, and I remember looking out my bedroom window, looking for the mothership and asking, why did you leave me here? This isn't my home. I remember that. And there's lots of other confirmations that we had along the way. So it was great meeting you. And then soon we developed, since we're family, a better relationship. So I'm really happy that you invited me to be with you. That's great.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think I think it had the right thing to do to put you in here because you're one of us.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud that you're here with us. And I really care about you and your husband are really great people. And everything that we do here is for humanity, to help the planet Earth evolve into higher consciousness and have all kinds of knowledge. And I didn't think for a minute that the Arcturian people were going to contact me in this way. And finally they came around and start talking to me. In fact, about 3 months ago, they appeared right here in front of me. I felt the room starting to brighten up really strong, and the background behind the computer. This is a new computer I got here, a brand new one. It's 27-inch, nice and big. The other one's small. I look at it now and say, my God, that thing is small. But anyway, the Arcturians showed up right in front of me. Actually, they were all blue, and they 3 of them. One showed up first, and then the one that showed up first stayed in the center, and 2 other ones show on the right. And they appear and they bow to me because they know I'm a leader of my people. I'm a king, and Nicole is my queen up there. And they all 3 bowed to me, and they said, we come here to guide you in making a box that will heal and restore people's life back into normal. And I said, what do I have to do? He said, for one thing, we'll give you all the knowledge and everything that needs to be done. The only thing you have to get, if you don't have the money, try to get investors to help you out, put the box together. So actually, that's what I did. I had 3 wonderful people that has helped me a lot in the past. So I'm not going to say their names because they told me not to mention their names. So I'm not going to do that. But they have helped me a great deal. Okay. Now, after that, so that's when I started. I have spent between my own money. I spent over $1,500 my own money, and I have spent already. Let me see. Uh, about $5,000 with all the investors, and believe it or not, that's only makes 50 boxes. I had to buy a lot of stuff from other places, but I'm not buying any more Chinese stuff. It ain't worth it. So
Max,
go ahead.
what's the principal technology behind the box? Because Steve mentioned layers, and if you open the box, it would destroy the layers, and everything is created precisely for that one person. So could you describe the technology that goes behind it?
Yeah, I can. Well, I can't go into too much detail, but I'll just say what I can.
Okay.
Hold on, let me ask the attorneys real quick. Okay. It's like you can do it. Okay. Anyway, okay. The technology is very different. There are three different types of technology. There's the ninth density, like 9 dimension energy inside the box. There's also 11 dimension and 12 dimension. It's all in the box. Now, let me explain those dimensions. The ninth dimension, when, okay, by the way, I had to open the prototype because there was only 7 layers. And they told me that there's 2 more layers I have to put in. So I opened the box, I released all the layers that was in there. And then they, one at a time, they sent me 9 layers. And I will put it into the box. And I put 1, 2, 3, 4 until we got to 9. The 9th, I put it back down in there. And what it does is, see, the 9th dimension is different from the 11th. And the 11th is different from the 12th. So I get 3 layers from each dimension. 3 from 9, 3 from 11, 3 from 12. So when I bring the layers, it has to go from the lowest dimension that there is. Okay? So I bring in the 9th dimension into the technology into the box. Then I put the second one and the third. But in between those 3 layers, the technology changes. Because you got to understand that you cannot go from 3rd dimension to 9th dimension in seconds. It doesn't work like that. Okay? You have to adjust the dimension from one layer to another. You have to adjust it a different way. Now, I can't tell you how to do that because I know how to do that. It will take me maybe a whole month to explain those layers, but I'm not going to go into that. Every dimension and each layer, there's the 9th dimension, there are 3 layers. I have to go one at a time. And then I have to, like you do, like you got a software where you want to convert an MP3 into MP4 or MP4 to MP3. That's the way I do it. I have to convert the exchange of those 3 layers. And then I go into the 11th layer. I mean, the 11th dimension, and those layers are put in the same way as the 9th dimension. And then to 12 the same way. Now, I know you asked me something else. What was it, the other one, a question? I know you asked me 2 questions. Jennifer?
Just interested in the technology and how it works. But it sounded like you said, like there's almost like an interface between the layers that you're installing so that they'll communicate and adjust to one another in the box, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's another way to explain those layers.
Okay.
What you do is you get a piece of paper, white piece of paper, and you put 3 dots, 1, 2, 3, 1 underneath. You got 1, 2, and 3, completely vertical. And then you put another 3 here and another 3 here. And then what you do is you get the first one on top, and you bring that. You put a line straightly down to the 3rd one, the 3 threes, and you go straight down into the bottom one, and then you move that one again to this side, and then the one you go up, and you crisscrossing the layers. The layers have to be crisscrossed so they can communicate with one another.
Right.
it's not easy. Believe me, it's not easy. It took me several weeks to analyze all this and figure it out.
Mhm.
And then I know you said it. You had another question though. I should have answered that first before I forgot. What was it? Do you remember?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's in the recording anyway, because I'm recording this. Let me see if I can think about it. Well, any of you guys, any of you people that are here, if you can remember, you go ahead and ask those questions. You don't remember, Steve?
I'm curious about the Arcturians that you said materialized in front of you. Did they have any kind of a shield around them or any kind of energy coming off of them? Because James Gilliland, who runs the Steady Ranch up in Washington, he says that the Arcturians are what we would call the archangels, and that they have this energy shield around them so that they could kind of exist in this dimension. They have to kind of dumb down a little bit. And so I was just kind of curious if that's the case with your visit.
It's exactly the way you just explained it. When they showed up, they were like inside of some kind of protective shield because they come from a higher density. And you can't come from a higher density right straight into third without any protection, because the energy of that dimension being so high up in frequency, and you come down straight down into another dimension. It's like jumping out of an airplane without a chute. That's how it is.
Okay.
So they have to be protected. They all had the protection around them. It was a glow of light around them, but it was first it showed up white, and then it showed up like a golden color, and then you could see. Let me see if I can figure it out. Okay, it's like they projected themselves out of the shield that we're in, like projecting the light out. It's like turning on a flashlight, and you shine into the darkness, and it's projecting the energy all the way across. That's the way they showed up here. And they've told me a lot of things about things that the box can do. And when the time comes, I will ask all the people on the planet that has the Arcturian box, and I will activate inside the box. There's something secret in the box, and you're gonna want to do it when I tell you to. Because once you activate it, I will activate it from here, and once you activate it from where you're at, you're gonna have to activate it when I say go. Everybody does it. Once you activate it, it's gonna change this planet. Oh yeah. It's going to change it so beautiful. And you end something, the fifth dimension will come right in place. Okay?
So how can I get one? Send one to me right away.
Well,
that one went for me and Bud.
Well, it's going to work for all of you, because when I tell everybody, go ahead and turn it on, and I say my voice is inside the box. It's in there. When I say I activate, the whole planet is the event's gonna be incredible. It's gonna open, and it's gonna get rid of the darkness. It's gonna get rid of all the cabal, and they're gonna be sent back to wherever they were created, and they're gonna have to go there where they belong, because they don't belong here anymore. The cabal, the dark forces, and all those people that have been trying making this planet the way it's been, it's not going to be no longer. Guys, the good guys are winning. Okay, the good guys are winning all over the planet, and we all know that. You know why? Because people like you that believe in the light and the word love is what conquers these bad guys. It's like a dog, when he gets scared, he puts his tail between his legs. Well, they're starting to do that. And it's one thing that I'm going to give a grand tribute to our beloved President Donald Trump, who's been doing the best job he can do because he cannot be bought by the cabal. They try to, he came right when he was told to come here. And I tell you, I love you, man. I love you, Mr. President. And all the United States Armed Forces, they support you 100%. And we're going to be here to help you. We're not going to let nobody harm you. And that's a fact.
I have heard that he trained for this job for 6,000 years. His soul trained for this. And he came in to do this, to right the wrongs, you know, free us from the slave planet that we've been on, get rid of the cabal, get rid of all the institutions that hold us back and are killing us. And so, yeah, you're right. He's doing a fantastic job. He's done more in just a year and a half than any former presidents. I don't understand the hatred, you know, out there for him, but that's because they don't get it, and they're being brainwashed by and mind controlled by the mass media and the cabal-owned mass media. So, you know, we know what's going on. We've connected the dots a long time ago.
Yeah. Nicole, can you do me the favor and put that BitChute video that we're watching at the beginning of the show? Put it in the Wolf Spirit chat room so people can see that and watch it.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
I want to also to tell you something that most people here don't know, or even the audience. I know because I know certain things. Our President Donald Trump is not, it's from the future. He comes from the year 2165. He came from the future here many years ago. And he had to learn the different ways how to become successful as he is.
Right.
That's the what he had to go through. So I honor you, sir, President Trump, for the good work that you're doing, and we all love you. We all back you up and support you. You're doing a great thing for the planet Earth, and people are going to listen to you. And I know I'll listen to you. And if I have to get back in shape, well, I'm getting in shape now again. I'm walking better. I got my new shoes out. I got my own custom shoes. I'm walking great. I feel great. I'm doing exercise. I'm going to get back again. And Mr. Trump, if you ever need me, just call me. You already know my number. Okay? So thank you so very much. Okay. Jennifer, why don't you talk about, you know, how you became Jennifer Martin here on the planet, and what is it that you've been doing all this time?
Oh, man. Well, I walked in, as you know, off the same ship with you and went, what the hell's going on here? No. So I was adopted and looked for 30 years to try to find my biological family. And in that search, and it was also a search for psoriasis, a cure for psoriasis, which I had picked up 30 years ago. And I thought, well, maybe if I found my biological family, if there's a connection there, maybe it ran in my family. I didn't know my, you know, genealogical history. So that spurred me into wanting to find my natural parents. So in those 30 years, and I was a teacher, I taught English and I taught health ed at National University for 6 years. And then I was a school administrator for 15 years. And then I was director of communications for a school district in Sacramento. And I got interested in doing television shows. So I hosted my own show for 8 years in the Sacramento area. And then someone asked me to host a show on the Travel Network for a year. And so I did that. That was my only national show that I hosted. And then I acted in movies with Emilio Estevez and Demi Moore. And, just did a bunch of things that I wanted to do. Whatever was fun, you know, it looked like it was fun, I would do it. So I've had these three threads in my life as a writer. I started writing, I was a published author at age 10, believe it or not. So I'm a writer. I'm also a teacher, and then got into media. Okay, so I've had those three threads running through my life. So I've written 3 books, 6 screenplays, all of which have received awards, but not have been made into movies because I fired my agent who lived in Connecticut. Because I couldn't quite figure out how an agent in Connecticut could make it into Hollywood and make a dent, you know. So anyway, but I wrote them. It was fun. And what else have I done? I can't remember half the things I've done because, you know, it was just like this winding road. Whatever was appealing, you know, I did it. So I have stopped teaching technically, but I started a group 2 years ago called HEAL, which is Health and Environmental Alliance. I've been an environmentalist for years and years. And now I bring in speakers to talk about health, especially how the environment impacts our health. Because I learned that along the way in the 30-year search for a cure for psoriasis. And I'm telling you, I tried every which way. I mean, I looked at body, mind, and spirit, right? So you have to have a holistic approach to healing. And so whatever therapy was out there in Western medicine, I tried it. Then I got into Eastern medicine. I even got into Ho'oponopono, which is the Hawaiian forgiveness ceremony and ways to heal. I got into shamanism. I used to do drumming classes with Hank Wesselman, who is a great author, and he teaches you to do drumming and get into alpha and create your own secret garden. And I mean, there's just tons of things that I tried. I tried crystals. I tried mud therapy. I tried water therapy, every kind of water therapy you could think of. I had readings done for past lives. You know, you had Stuart Swordlow on, was it last week or? Yeah, I called up Stuart. Stuart, tell me some past lives that I've led that may contribute to my psoriasis. And he tuned in. He said, oh, you were a Roman soldier one time, and you like to watch people burn in the arenas, in the gladiator, you know, arena. I'm going, oh, wonderful. And another time you were a soldier working for the Catholic Church and pulling out heretics out of their home and taking the children from them and separating them. And so all that anger kind of shows up in your skin as psoriasis. And so you just have to deal with those lives and cut the ties of those lives. Well, the way we cut the ties, I learned how to do that in the Ho'oponopono ceremony, because the Hawaiians believe that when you meet somebody, there's a little tiny electrical kind of cord that goes right to theirs. They call it the Aka cord, and it's kind of like a little elastic filament, okay? And so it's upon that filament that we have mental telepathy, we transfer thoughts, but it's also connecting us to people. And so you've heard of the ties that bind, right? Yeah. Okay, sometimes you want to let go of the past because there are people who no longer serve you. And there are people and relationships that you need to let go of because somehow they're holding you back and you don't know why. So you do the Ho'oponopono ceremony to get rid of all those cords, you know, and replace them with pure light. And so that kind of helped me, you know, when I was dealing with all these other past lives and trying to figure out what is contributing to my psoriasis. So along the way, I learned all about metaphysics, and I learned about, then I started getting into other things like HAARP, you know, and how HAARP is contributing to electromagnetic frequencies that are not good for you. Because my whole focus is, how can I maintain my health? Because one of the things that Stuart Swordlow told me was that I had the capacity to live into the triple digits. So I'm thinking, wow, I could live to be 100. I wish I had known that when I was younger, so I could have taken better care of myself. But now I'm looking for every which way that I could stay healthy, and basically detox. So now that's my focus. I'm going to show Stuart that he was right. I could live to 100 at least, and survive. I was talking the other day to Deborah Tavares. She runs a website called stopthecrime.net, and she's going to be a guest, I think August, what do we say, 1st? Yeah, August 1st. She's wonderful. But we were talking about how we're under the gun here. There's this onslaught of chemtrails and aerial sprays and electromagnetic frequencies, GMO foods. I mean, we're being just, what is it, decimated. That's a good word. The human race is just being assaulted. And she lives up in the Napa area where they had all those fires that she says were induced by weaponry and energy weapons, and not PG&E and all that. But anyway, but there's a tie into smart meters, because they could set off a smart meter and start your home on fire. And so we talked about, this onslaught that we're facing, all of us. And I told her, I said, my goal is to outlive it and to survive it and to thrive. And I'm always looking for ways to improve my health and share that with other people. And she said, because I said, are we treading water, Deborah? And she said, no, we're not. I hate to tell you that, but I don't think we are. Well, I don't have that. I don't have all the knowledge that she has, upon which she made this judgment that, we're kind of losing it. I think that we have the power with our mind to create anything we want. And so I try to focus on what's healthy, what's going to work, what we can create that will be sustainable, that will help humanity get through this prison that we've been. We are in a prison planet and have been for years. So how do we free ourselves and survive this onslaught? That's where I am right now.
God, that's great. You put that so well. You did a great job. Go ahead, Steve. You got a question? Go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Jennifer, I was wanting to ask you. I know a little bit about it, but I'd like to know more about it. When a walk-in, I didn't hear nothing about this until about 2 years ago. I've been in this almost about 3 years, and I've read a lot. I have read so much that I'm just about brain dead, and I'm kind of about like you. I'll get something in my head and start writing. I'll just write a story or a poem. And if you ask me 2 minutes later what I write, I can't tell you. It just flows. And when it flows, I do it. But could you explain more to me, or maybe some of the others, that what the walk-in is and what families do they put you in? Do they put you with a bad family? Because that was something I would be worried about if they put you with like if you was put with a little child and you was beaten, and because as a child, I was beaten a lot. And, but some of it I asked for it, some of it I didn't. But it was just in my family. So I was just wanting to ask that.
Okay, Steve. It's my understanding, and Max explained it to me too, that when you you're a walk-in, your soul inhabits somebody else's body. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Max, but so when I was 5, my soul took on the body of Jennifer Martin. Now that body had trauma because she was adopted, and in the womb with adopted people, little babies get the emotional message from the mother, okay? that they're not wanted. All right, so they don't know how to translate that because it's not done in words. It's just an emotional message, but they grow up knowing something's wrong with me, you know. Or they'll translate it, I'm not good enough, or you know, some negative way. And so some people will compensate by overeating, or some people will walk around with a inferiority complex. And you know, for me, I was very, very shy and withdrawn. And you talk about the wounded child. I felt so wounded that, you know, what's wrong? Something's missing. And so, but walk-ins, I believe, we're here to come into this time to help humanity. And so, you know, even though we may not understand it, that's what we're here for. Now, to go to your writing question, I think a lot of times when we write, it's just a download of stuff from another dimensional part of us, because we're multidimensional and all of this is happening at the same time, right? All of our lives are being led at the same time. So there's that writer life of yours that is downloading stuff. I know when I wrote my book, The Huna Warrior, The Magic Begins, it's about a high school vice principal, which I used to be. But this one comes from a long line of the Hawaiian kahuna. And she learns from a student of hers that there is a renegade kahuna in Maui trying to do away with all the other kahunas in the island for supremacy, you know. So she's got to learn the magic overnight, get over to Maui and figure out how to do this guy in. But the thing with huna is, and huna means secret in Hawaiian. So the kahuna were the keepers of the secret. And the secret was, they knew how to tap into the force to get things done. It's kind of like the Jedi Knights, you know. But so she had to learn how to vanquish this bad guy, but she couldn't kill him because huna means, you know, you do only good. So I figured out a way for sharks to get involved in that. But anyway, I was told by Andrew Bartzett, who is a galactic historian, and I had a reading done with him to find out my genetic background in terms of planetary background. But he said, when I wrote The Huna Warrior, it was a download, that I had experienced that in another life. I was the Huna Warrior. And that's why when I wrote it, I wrote it in 3 months. I wrote an entire novel. I had never written a novel before, but I wrote it in 3 months. And so that's all I could tell you, is you're tapping into part of yourself that remembers. It could be, maybe you're going to the Akashic Records and, you know, you ask the librarian, you know, hey, which book did I write? Oh, okay, give it to me. But that's why it's so easy when you sit down and write, you know, it just flows and then you can't remember how did I get that on paper? But that's because you're downloading it. That's what I think.
Now, Steve, I want to tell you about my experience as a walk-in, because mine is a very positive one. I don't know if it was right from birth, but I will tell you I was extremely young when I walked in, because I have conscious memory and I was able to understand both English and French because I was raised French. And I remember being 3 months old and my mother coming up over the crib, and I remember the awareness immediately because she spoke to me. She's like, "What are you doing awake?" And I just kind of giggled at her and I'm like, "Well, because I'm here." And of course I couldn't say anything because I was only a baby. But what ended up happening with me was Max and I were supposed to come in at the same time. And I got thrown off by, I believe it was the Archons, and I got thrown 20 years into the future. So what ended up happening with me is the soul that I inhabited the body of became a spirit guide for me. Was not traumatized or having a hard time, but had agreed because I didn't have anywhere to go and they wanted me to have a good family. And my family, I love my parents dearly still to this day. And so does Max. And yes, I did get the belt once because I don't remember what I said. I said something wrong, I guess. And, these things happen, but it was a one-time thing. I wasn't beaten as a child. I wasn't abused or anything. But I do have memories being very young, and I was also very secluded. I was very to myself. And the thing is I remember um, understanding people's intentions. So that's why I kept to myself as a child. And even up to an adult, I've kept to myself because I'm able to read people and I know their intention. I had very few friends. But overall, I would say my experience was really good. And it's unusual to have memories that young. But yeah, I was I was infant, and I remember it was pretty fun though, because I shocked my mom a few times when I got older and I told her about certain memories that I had. She's like, well, there's no way you could remember that. There's no way. And I'm like, well, here it is. So anyway, Max, if you wanted to talk about yours.
No, I'll do it in the second hour. I want to thank tonight People for People Radio in Scotland. I really thank you for allowing me to transmit also on your side, and I thank you very much. Vanessa, if you can give that person the Zoom number to here, go ahead and give it to him so he can come here on my second hour, and I would like to have him on the show also. But I mean, I'm really happy that all of you are here, really, truly. And I really love you all very much. I really do. And not just the people here in the panel, but also people in the chat room. And I want to say hello to Rose Violet, um, and a lot of you that are out there. Thank you, all of you, for being my friend. And I honor all of you. Because of you showing up here every Wednesday and supporting the Max Steel Show. I really honor you for that. I really do care for you. And everything that I do, I do it out of the kindness of my heart to yours. And someday in the future, I will repay all that to all the people here in the chat room and the panel here and also the world. We're coming very soon to help all of planet Earth. And you can bet that there's going to be thousands of us that's going to help all of you. And we're going to do it with the kindness of love that we have in our hearts. And we're going to share that love, all of us here and all the people of the world, that we cannot live anymore in violence and crime and any more of that. We have to live with each other as friends and neighbors and family. It's all about love. That's all we care. Because where I come from, love is very important to all of us. We share the same love with each other. We don't have any crime or any of that violence that you have here on earth. That's going to come to an end. And it has to stop. And this is the only way to do it, is to share the love with each other. And then you will find the love in your heart to share with others. How you like that? So it's very simple. Russ, why don't we take the break right now, and we'll come back in just a few minutes. I got to say one last thing. This is a listener supported station. Please donate. That's how we keep things going here for you. And if you have any question in the chat room, go ahead and put them on there and uppercase, and we'll be glad to answer it. Thank you, and we'll be right back.
I just wanted to say I remembered another story when I was about, I think I was 6 years old, and I remember I mouthed at my mother, and I said, I can't believe I'm here. This place is so. I believe I said the R word. This place is so.
Ridiculous.
No, it's a bad word. I don't want to say it. It has. It starts with an R, and it's referred to handicapped people, and I don't want to say it. My mom never used that word, so I'd never, she doesn't know where I got that word from. Yes, the RET word.
Mhm.
And my mom washed my mouth out with soap. And I remember I forgot what happened, but my memory came back again because of that. It's like, oh, I remember now because I was mad about being here. And I remember my mom washed my mouth out with soap, and that was the one and only time that happened. So the little strange things like that happened because your person, like you're in a body, but then you kind of go in between both worlds, and then sometimes when you get these weird bleed throughs, you don't realize the things you say.
Yeah.
They're like, where did you get that word from? Where'd you pick that up from? So yeah.
Nicole, can you tell us in the next segment more about memories that you might have had, maybe with Max on your original planet?
Yeah, I can go into a little bit of detail. Max can go into bigger detail about that, but I do have some memories, yes, of the actual planet.
Have you always remembered it, or
I've
how long
always,
ago did you?
when I met Max, it's when it all got triggered, and that was 2015. So once I had my session with him, everything started flowing a bit more and things made more sense. And it's like, oh my goodness, like I'm not crazy, and I'm not, there's a reason for everything now. And then when you look back, you're like, aha, all these aha moments, and then the memories, I can remote view our planet now, and that's the nice thing about it, is that I can tune into it now that I understand where all this came from. I didn't have the complete understanding of what was going on. I just knew that I was in contact with Sananda and Archangel Michael a lot.
Yeah, I'm in contact with Archangel Michael too.
Yeah, he was probably the biggest reason why. And I had a bit of a mental breakdown back in 2007 because he was really pushing on me to remember for this upcoming stuff that was coming into the years. But yeah, it was pretty intense.
Mm.
By the way, this is all being recorded right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're recording during the break.
That's fine.
For quality assurance, you know what I mean? The story they always use on us. I had every time I call somewhere when they say you're being recorded for quality assurance, then when they answer the phone, I says, I want to tell you something.
You're also being
Since you're also being recorded for my quality assurance that you ain't gonna play any games on me, okay? Because you can erase your recording, but you ain't gonna record. You ain't gonna erase mine. So that's what I do. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, I had like I said, I had Saint Germain come to me in a
Yes.
dream one night. I was having an out of body experience, and Saint Germain appeared beside my bed, and he was in George Washington suit. And I asked him, I said, "Come closer," and he did. He came closer. He smiled. Then he disappeared. Then probably about a week later, I had a pure white marble stone, like a slab, come up beside my bed, and it had bones on it with a pure white piece of silk cloth, and it started just spinning, rotating. And when it got through rotating, the bones came together, and it was Jesus, Sananda. He he. I was like shocked, and I said, "Please come closer." And when I said that, I was on my knees, and he had his hands on my head like this. And he didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing, and he disappeared. And later on, and when he did leave, I said, "Thank you." And then another time, I was telling Max about this. I had a guy in a spaceship. It looked like the bottom of the moon shoe, like you see on the moon print. and he was like sticking out with his hair, you know, like a crown sticking up. And he appeared before my bed. Then he left. Then another one came in. There was three of them. And the middle one said, "My name is Robin. We come in peace." I said, "Thank you very much." And boom, they was gone. And I still go out at night, and I talk to them. I see the ones up there that they'll put on a light show for me. They'll start just flickering all them color lights, and I'll see one zip back and forth across, and I'll tell them, I say, "I know you out there and your family to me, you know."
You are
All the
family.
good ones.
I was gonna
Huh?
say, if you get a chance to find the Saint Germain books,
Uh-huh.
um, Ascended Masters,
Yeah.
I think you can get it from the Saint Germain Press. These books,
Meanwhile,
books
back
are
at the
amazing.
ranch. Welcome to the Captain Max Steel Show. You're listening to Wolf Spirit Radio.
I wonder if I can match that wolf yell like that.
Give it a try.
I don't know. I think I might break this mic here by doing that. But no, I think Russ did a good job doing that for me. Thank you. We're back again for the second segment, the second hour. Let me see. Okay, not a problem. You, not Q, but you. Well, let me explain something. Last week, when I did the show last week with Janet and Stuart Swirlo, we had somebody show up here all of a sudden, kind of shocked me a little bit. And it was Q that came in, and he only said a few words. So now it's not Q, this is you. Open your mic, you. Unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. This is Ujwal. I'm you, the mystery person. Yeah.
Do you have any question, you?
Oh, this is my first time on the show. It's really interesting. I know you guys are all from the higher dimension, and you come into this body. It's really bewildering for me.
Believe it or not, you're a lot higher than you think. Okay? And don't put yourself down. You're way up there with us too. And we honor you being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I thank you also for helping me out today. And I know you're always there for me. I mean, you're always on Facebook, backing me up, saying all kinds of beautiful things. By the way, you calls me on Facebook Lord Isaiah, because Isaiah is my real name, really, from where I come from. And you is always saying Lord Isaiah. And every time he says that, it makes me feel good. He's the only one that says it. And I give him permission to say that. But it makes me feel good because I haven't heard that in a very long time, except when I go back and forth to my star system, which I was there not too long ago. But every time I do get a chance to go back, our planet has changed. I instructed my father, prime creator of our star system, that I didn't want to see our planet frozen anymore. Now we have beautiful waterfalls, we have grass and beautiful fish in our lakes, and we didn't have lakes. Our whole planet was frozen completely. It was minus 357 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty darn cold. So I instructed my father, prime creator, that we needed to change things a little bit. I wanted to our people to experience the beautiful things that we have here on Earth, and to cherish a better way of living with each other. And when I got there for the first time since I had it changed, it was so beautiful. My people weren't used to be in temperatures. Actually, I told my father that I wanted for for the temperature to be at 50 Fahrenheit all the time. I didn't want it, you know. We don't need to, you know, plant any vegetation stuff because we get all our food from the water. We have a planet, we have a water planet that's pretty large, and it's really incredible. It's just beautiful. My planet is beautiful now. Just to give you an example, that have you ever seen the planet Arcturus on Google Image? The Arcturus planet is our sun here that we have here around the Earth that shines the planet. It's about the size of a dime next to the Arcturus planet. That's how small. That's how big a Taurus planet is. The Arcturian people. But my planet next to Arcturus, it's the size of a nickel. The Arcturus planet is the size of a nickel next to ours. So it's pretty large. That's why we can build. That's why my people can build a really large biosphere that travel the universes, not just this universe, many universes. So that's how we can do things. I am very happy that tonight our show is being broadcasted through again People for People Radio in Scotland, and I want to honor you guys too. You guys are awesome too, and I'm sorry I didn't put that out at the beginning of the show. I didn't know that until a bit later, but thank you for us being broadcasting on your end too. And if there's anything you need me to, if you want to interview me one day, I'm welcome to do that too on your radio station. And thank you very much. We did
actually. The Scottish Sovereign had a question from the chat. I just thought I would.
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, "Are we not created equal?" And I was starting to explain that we are. And Max, you can add to it too. We are created separate from one source, but we're not equal or better than or less than is the thing. We are all experiencing different facets of the one creator, the one source. So I wouldn't say we're created equal because we're not meant to be the same, because we come from the same. That makes sense.
It does. It does make sense. But you got to understand that where we come from, we have our own prime creator. Every universe has a prime creator, and we all the prime creators are different from the other. And just because we're different, it doesn't mean we're really different. We're really equally, and we share different things. Go ahead, Jennifer.
One of the things I was impressed about your planet, you explained that you rescue other planets.
Yes.
And I was thinking, wow, maybe that's why you came here. You're rescuing this planet. But tell us a little bit more about how your people have been rescuers for other planets.
Well, you forgot one thing to say, Jennifer. You're part of us here. You too. You're us too. So I know it was well put. Yes, I was sent here to rescue this planet, among other people that from other planets that are doing their own different things. It's not just me. It's many thousands of you out there that are doing the same thing, but in a different way. And you were sent here from your star system to help the people of Earth. Because not just the people of Earth, everybody in this planet are from different races, from other planets too. So not just because you're living here among the Earthling, because you're not Earthling. Well, in a way you are now, and I am too, but you're helping, you were sent here to help Earth change to a better way on how to share things with much love. That's why we're here. my job's a little different than the other ones. Okay, I had the honor to meet the Dalai Lama in 1994 when I got out of the military. I was invited to go see him, and nobody knew he was in Miami. Only few people, and I got to meet him. And when I met him, uh, we were in this big room in a private home where he was at, and he was he was not in the room yet, and everybody was sitting on the floor on top of a pillow. And somehow I knew what I had to do. So when he walked in the room, I bowed down and I put my hands a certain way, the way they were going to teach us. We actually remote view all that stuff before they came in. I saw it in the future, like about 10 minutes in the future before he walked in. So I bowed to him. And as soon as I bowed to him, I saw the past about all the different, not Dalai Lamas, but all the leaders like him. I went back 25,000 years. I saw them all. And there was a couple of them that were children that were, leaders like Dalai Lama. And when I bowed down and I raised, he asked everybody to rise up. I stood up, and he looked me right directly in my eyes and said, he shook his hand. He shook his head, went like this, and like saying yes. And believe it or not, he went like this. He put a thumbs up, like said, great. I mean, so after he did the ceremony that he did, everybody went into another room to go, like have snacks and refreshes, sodas. I mean, refreshing themselves. And then he asked one of the people that was sitting next to him, and he came to me. He said, Dalai Lama wants to speak to you. So I said, well, my honor to finally meet him. So I got to where he was. Actually, he was standing on top of this 2-foot square, like stepping up so that people can see him, and like a stage, a small stage. He was standing. I was standing at the bottom on the floor, and I was still bigger than he was. But anyway, it was honored to talk to him, and he told me, you have a message for me. Yes, I do. Can you name, as far as you can go, all of the leaders before me? And I named them by name, and I didn't know that until that moment I start speaking. The names start to come in my mind. When I had the remote view, and my subconscious mind didn't hear it, but picked up on it in a higher frequency, and it downloaded into my subconscious mind. And I gave all the names back as close as I can go to 25,000 years. And he knew all those names, and he freaked out when I knew them. And boy, he gave me this beautiful. It was a large emerald. It was a big emerald, about a foot tall. It was a real emerald, and it had the successor before him, and he gave me that as a gift. And he gave me a certificate. It was very beautiful, and you ain't gonna believe it. It got stolen. It got stolen out of my. I was living in Dalton, Georgia. Somebody went through the window. I should have put an alarm in that place, but I didn't. It wasn't my place to put it anyway. I should have put it anyway. Somebody broke in and stole it. That emerald was worth about $50,000, and it was stolen. And I didn't have insurance, so I lost it. So whoever has it, enjoy it. That's all I can say. I can do no more about it. But it was very beautiful what happened. And Nicole, you said something about my planet world. Is that what you want to know? What is it, the question you asked me before I start talking?
Jennifer wanted to know about our experiences, or what the things that we remembered from our planet. I can see in my mind's eye what the planet looks like. There's domed areas, and it's very a very lush, beautiful place. Even though we don't need to live off of things like that, we don't. We do eat, but we consume what I would call like an energy ball. So we
It's
don't.
green.
Yeah, it's an energy ball. I would almost say it's like a chlorophyll type of thing.
Yes.
But
Like
we
spirulina.
like spirulina, yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's not, our digestion is way different because the energy, we don't really have a stomach. It comes to the center of our, of our inside of our body, and it expands throughout our body for energy. And we don't really need much sleep either. And then we're not going to the bathroom. So that reminded me of of what I was explaining to Max, and that yes, we're going to go into the toilet, Vanessa. I remember my whole life thinking, why do we spend so much time on the toilet? This is ridiculous. I kept thinking, why this obsession with eating and going to the bathroom, and why is it like this? And I remember getting so upset many different times in my life that, you just get tired of it. It depends where you come from, because I was tuning into my life, and we don't do that. We don't have to go to the bathroom. We don't, it's so funny, but I don't have memories like Max does, but I can visualize our planet, and Max could probably go into greater detail about that, Jennifer.
Like I said earlier, the planet has waterfalls and lakes and all kinds of stuff. Our planet is very different. When we were traveling from the Pleiades, because we're originally Pleiadians, the Lyrians made a craft for us, and they made it so well made that the propulsion system, it didn't need any fuel. The fuel was different. It was created very different. I can't go into those details because I don't want the enemies to know that good detail about it. But anyway, Nicole and myself were born in that craft. There are other ascended master that are part of our star system, and I'm going to name a few. The first one is Saint Germain. He is from our world. Okay. Ascended Master Katumi is from our world also. And also Ascended Master El Moria is part of our world too. Hey, actually, El Moria is from my planet, Eliam. My planet's called Eliam, Eliam. That's our planet. There's other ascended masters there from our, from my planet, star system. I don't know if I should name one of my brothers. I know I've talked a few times about one of my brothers that's very important that was here on the planet Earth about 1,000 years ago or more. And he came here first before I did. I told him not to come down here, but he said he wanted to come down here to help people out, and boy, he did. And things became a little difficult along the line, but I do have 3 other brothers. In our planet system, the youngest of the brothers is the one that leads the people. It's not the oldest. It doesn't work like that. It's opposite. I was chosen by our people. We have 8 billion planets in our star system. And each planet has anywhere from 8 billion to, we do have another planet that's way out in our star system that has 50 billion people in the planet. And that planet's a little slightly smaller than ours, but there are people there. We have many dimensions in our star system. because we have rescued many planet worlds and other universes that have asked, they had sent a SOS into different star systems and different universes. Once this universe here, the other universe outside of this solar system, the frequency of other universe, the frequency is a little bit higher up, and it can be the information gets sent a lot quicker. And when it goes into another universe that's higher frequency, it multiplies and multiplies, and we pick up on those signals. So we have our ships are very fast. I know they've said that there are some ships out there that are faster than others. Yeah, in this universe. But we come from the 17 universe. Our ships are very fast. Many years ago, I'd say back in 2011, it would take us 7 days to come from our star system to the planet Earth system. And then it got cut down to about seven 1 week. And now it went down to 3 hours, 3 days. And now we can come from our star system to the planet Earth star system in 1 hour, Earth hour. So you can imagine that a biosphere that's 120,000 miles wide, that you can fit Jupiter and Earth inside, with the planet inside, both planet inside, we can still travel from here to the planet Earth star system to my world in just 1 hour. We're all that weight in there. Because once the weight of the planet goes into a ship, it goes weightless. It doesn't weigh nothing. So we can travel fast with all kinds of weight. My ship up there is one of the, we have 3 large ships the same size. We have 3 120,000 mile wide ships up there. And I also have a 55,000 and the 25,000 miles wide ships. And we can be all around the Earth, like surrounding the Earth. And when we're getting ready to leave, all of us, we just merge into one ship to another ship and merge and merge and merge. And then all of them will fit in one. And then we take off in 1 hour, we're in our planet. And then all of a sudden the ships start to come out from other ships and they get all over the planet. And it takes us 1 hour to get there. There's no other alien species anywhere that can travel that fast in 1 hour, going across 16 other universe, and that quickly. It doesn't exist. As far as I know, we're the fastest so far to this point. But our star system is very beautiful. When you get there, you'll see all the different planets shining everywhere. Our universe happens to be pink, the color pink that you used to hear on Earth. The planets are blue and green. We got some orange planet. We have one that's similar to Saturn. That one with it looks like Saturn is one of our. It's actually a planet that multiplies its image and through all our star system. It can project itself like a hologram in many places in our star system. If something is not right in our star system, it will alert my planet what's going on elsewhere. And we have people that monitors all that. Now, if there's an SOS in another planet, another star system, or another dimension, because they're a lot lower than we are, we're from the 21D, we're 21st density, then we can monitor all the other dimensions. Monitor. We do have different explorers in our star system that are a lot lower in dimension. So what we do, we pick up a SOS in another planet system, and then we'll figure out what dimension they're in, and then we have people from those dimensions, the same dimension, and we send those explorers to that dimension, and they'll take care of whatever has to be done. Sometimes there's planets that somehow they go off course, and they start the gravity starts to deteriorate, and it moves off course. And when it starts to do that, we shoot a beam into it, and we bring it back into course. If the gravity of that area where that planet sits, it's not holding on. So here's what we do. If we let that planet go, it will destroy itself because of the vibration that is moving into another area of that star system. So what we do is we shoot a beam into the whole planet, and we put that planet inside one of our craft. We take it back and bring it to our star system, and then we put that planet in that same dimension that these people are from, and then we put that in our star system so they can live once for all for peace and love. And then we give the replicator. Now, I want to tell you one thing. The replicators, we were the ones that created the replicators. We were the ones that sent all these replicators to different dimensions. Okay, we send these replicators to many different dimensions, and now everybody talks about the replicators because our people are the one that put it out there. Okay, we do have a dimension that we control. That's where we put all the bad guys in. Okay, so we put them in that dimension. We do give them replicators only to do two things: to replicate whatever clothes they use, and number two, the second one is to give them the food they eat, because all races don't eat the same kind of food. So we allow them to replicate their own kind of food, so the replicator can make the food that they eat for them. So that's the two things they do in that dimension. So I have sent many races that doesn't agree with love and continue to put up darkness and negative energies out there. They go there. I send them there. Very soon, I'm going to bring Little Pony in other segments where we're going to start doing things. We are going to start to communicate with different races here on this planet and ask them why. We're going to contact the good and the bad, okay? So we can get a more information on both sides. And we're going to try to make that both sides come into an agreement, just like the United Nations, you know? We're going to try to open a United Nation of races on the planet where the good and bad get to communicate with each other and tell us what they want, okay? If they're not going to comply with the word love and they don't want to accept it, they're going to need to go. They can't stay here no more. They're not welcome here anymore. So that's the kind of information and contact that Little Pony and myself going to start doing. And that's going to be coming very soon into Max Steel Show.
Good.
So that's what we plan to do. We need to start doing something like this. You got to understand something about the galactics. I want to talk a little bit about that. The galactic is actually divided in two sides, but normally they don't want to talk about stuff like that. There are good and bad in the galactics. I just want you to get that clear out there. And a lot of times when they have a council between each other and they get together, some of the races, well, most of the races in that council don't like for me to show up there because I'm always the last one to speak to them. I do not appear the way I look right now. I appear the way I really truly look like when I am my own, like you say here on Earth, avatar, because that's a word being used a lot now. I don't like to be used it because I don't know. I saw the movie Avatar. I kind of liked it. I loved it, but you know, it's like fantasy, and a lot of the stuff that's being put out there, it's fantasy. So people get adjusted to use those words like avatar and so on. But when I show myself in these council, I automatically go up to my a small craft picks me up here outside my house. Get beamed up there, and they take me to the mothership up there, and then I enter my body, my original body, and my body is 12 feet tall, 12 feet tall. We only sleep 3 hours. We don't sleep laying down. We sleep standing up. We live a long period of time where we have an expectancy of living 10,000 years per cycle. We go through 10 cycles. Right now, if I'm going to put it into words, I would say that I'm 732 years old. And it stays 732 years old until I go back into it, into my original body. But since I'm on Earth, I'm 64 years old, going on 65 on the planet Earth. But when I go to my ship and go into my body, I'm still 732 because I'm back and forth to Earth and to the ship. So I'm 732, but I'm actually in my seventh cycle. So that makes 7 is 10,000. So it'd be 70,000, but I'm 70,732 years. When I reach the 10th cycle, I become 100,000 years old. Okay, now after I reach the 100,000 years, I'm entitled to choose two directions. I can go into the higher dimensions because there are a lot of my people that do not want to have a physical body. They become light and they don't have a body. It's illuminated light that's the body they use. I don't want to go there. I've decided that I don't want to go into the light in that term. I can go back and start all over from the beginning. The body that I have, my body does not age. My body, if it's 70,000 or 100,000 years old, it's not going to age. It's going to look the same. We don't age at all. Even though we go through 100,000 cycle, we don't age at all. We just continue on the way we look. Because when you're born for the first time in my planet, and it takes 9 days, Earth time is really 9 years old in our time. We're living inside a capsule when we're created. And then when we get created, we live in that capsule until 9 days, it'll be 9 years, while we're being taught. We're like going into, like, say, elementary or middle school, junior high, and then high school, and then we go to college and we go to university. All that's done in those 9 days. When we finally come out, before we come out, when we're created, we wear a uniform. And the uniform grows with us. The uniform grows. And the uniform has many dimples on the inside. And those dimples are connected to our pores inside our body. And that suit, we don't take a shower like you do here on Earth. The suit provides that. It sends some moisturizing into the pores, and it cleans us up really quickly. Seconds, okay? That's what we do. Like I said, in the uniform, whatever thought comes into your mind, you project it to the suit, the suit has its own intelligence. It's not AI. It's not artificial intelligence. It's real-time intelligence. So the suit picks up on our thoughts, and whatever I ask it to do, it would do. We can fly. We can swim underwater. We don't have a limited of time of oxygen. It's unlimited. I can swim forever underwater if I had to. I can swim under the water through the whole planet Earth if I had my suit here. Okay? There are so many things about it. I mean, it's incredible what we can do. We can if we want to go through a steel door that's about, let's say, 15 feet wide thickness, all we do is just think about it, we project ourselves, we go right through it, and we're on the other side. Nothing can stop us. Not even the Man of Steel, Superman. So anyway, I just want to say that. But I want to tell you that there are many things about my people that is obsolete because of the higher density that we come from. All right, there's some question here.
Yeah, there was a question from Love to Music. For the last 2 days, I've been taking pictures of the sky around midnight, and I could not believe the photos showed me circles or possibly ships. Could you help me to clarify that?
I'll give you a moment here.
Yeah. Of course, I had to have a coughing fit.
Oh my God.
And the phone started ringing.
Take over for me, Nicole. Let me get this one.
I'm not sure what to take over with. No, but Max was talking about, I don't know if he was covering it because I was looking at the chat at the time. When we reproduce, we don't reproduce in a sexual, earthly way. It's not the same. It's an energetic combination. It's almost like I can akin it to when Mormons get married and they go into a chamber alone and they do what they do. And I don't know those secrets, but I am familiar a little bit with the Mormons, with their customs. But when we procreate, we get our energies together, combine them, our hands are up, and there's like a tube in between us. And that's how we create a new person.
Nicole, can you tell us about your son?
Yeah, a little bit. I'd like to be in more contact with him. I know he's always protecting and around. Max could probably tell you more about him, but he's a warrior, and he's a peaceful warrior. I can, his name, we named him after the human name of Jesus, Yesu.
Yeah.
Because he's very similar to Sananda. He's very much like his uncle. He's kind of like the younger, spunkier version of him. That's the best way I can describe him.
Okay,
but you would have to understand the Sananda side, not the Jesus side.
You let the cat out of the bag, Nicole. But anyway, okay. Let me answer this question. Yes, Love to Music, that is ships out there. People are starting to see them. And it's one way of telling the people of the earth that they're here. And little by little, you'll see them on the sky. You'll see at night like you're seeing now, and pretty soon you'll see them in the daytime, when the sun is out. You'll see them out there, and then very soon they'll come down and speak to you. Okay? They do. Some of them are not used to speak to you by your mouth. They use telepathy. They do have a device that's on the left hand by the wrist, which they'll hit some button, and it doesn't matter what language you're speaking with your voice, because the people they're going to make contact, they're not special. They're normal people that speak through their mouth, but they'll have a device that they'll hit, and whatever that person languages, that machine that's on the wrist will automatically show them what to say in their language. So they'll be able to hear. Telepathy, they'll use telepathy and their thoughts to the machine they have on the wrist. The machine on the wrist, when they say a word in telepathy, the machine will speak out in their language so they can understand. That's how it worked. Now, that will happen later. Okay. Okay. That was that question. Yes, they're allowing you to see them. And besides, when they allow themselves for you to see them, they are making contact with you. Okay, and whatever you say in your thoughts, they will pick up on it. It doesn't matter if they're 100,000 miles in the sky; they'll still pick up. The telepathy it's more than just listening. It's also speaking and listening at the same time. It doesn't matter how far it is. You can, like right now, you're here with me in the room here, doing a radio show, and right now you can say to your people, if you know what your people are, the Arcturian, Pleiadians, Larians, Nordics, or whatever it is, you can send a message to them. They'll listen. And when they're ready, they'll talk to you. They'll send a message right back. Because a lot of you hear that it's contacting your people, and you say, well, how come they're not talking to me? Well, because they haven't talked to you probably thousands of years. So they have to establish a frequency between them and you here. And then that's how you make the connection. So you have to be patient with that. Just be patient. You'll soon, once they stop talking to you, man, you're going to say, God, I wish they don't talk so much. Man, they're talking too much now. What am I going to do? How am I going to get away from this? Well, you asked for it. Now you got it. Now you got to answer for it. So that's the way it is sometimes. So I want you to know that. Especially Steve Huey. That's here, one on the panel here. But what do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, I'm waiting on it. I'm still waiting on my download, but I got something else that I was going to tell you. About 2 days ago, me and my girlfriend was riding around on my bike. We rode around uptown, went over to my daughter's house, come back, we got wet a little bit, went and got something to eat, come home, and we got on the side-by-side buggy. And we ride around and see the deer, all the animals, the baby deer, turkeys. And I put it up in the shed, and I told her, I said, I said, everybody talks about seeing the angels in the cloud. I said, that would just really make my day to see an angel in the cloud. She said, well, look up. And I looked up, and the clouds were black except for one little white spot. And you know how like a crane hovers? About 6 or 7 times the angel comes through the cloud, just hovers, and just comes back up in the cloud. And the cloud moves over in the dark spot. When it comes back out in the clear, it comes right back out again, facing. And I'm saying, that's it. Okay. That made my day, I'm happy with it. So.
Yeah, don't feel discouraged if they're not communicating with you. There's another way you can communicate with them a little faster. If you close your eyes, let's say you're in the bedroom, you're getting ready to go to sleep, and you're laying on your back, go look up at the ceiling, and the room is nice and dark. Look up at the ceiling and just concentrate on one spot in the ceiling. Okay, even though you're not going to see the ceiling clearly, sometimes you can. So you just keep looking in one spot, and you're going to see that about just a little bit, a moment of time, you're going to see a bronze wall. The ceiling will turn bronze, and then you're going to see the outline of symbols going from right to left. Just keep looking at them. Keep looking at them as they go by. And you keep looking at it as you go by. You know what that is? They're programming you. They're programming you.
what?
Yeah, they're programming you. And before you know it, you'll be communicating with them. A lot of
I
people.
haven't I haven't seen those symbols yet, but there's a lot of times like when I just shut my eyes and meditate and look up, turn my eyes up, I see like an orange and I see like wave patterns going across and the patterns come all different ways and then every once in a while it'll open up and I'll see this very little object like this, like something trying to come through and it'll start getting closer, then all of a sudden just disappear, pull back. And I've told it, come on, come on, I'm ready, so.
You can tell his accent. He's from Georgia, right? From Cordell, Georgia, like Tennessee.
Yeah, he's up in Macon. I'm a little bit further south. So.
That's okay. I'm from the South. I'm more South than you are. I'm from Dayton.
You got that? Yeah, that's right. That's right. You still got any more watermelon?
I got half of it, and I'm going to eat some of it tomorrow. When I get back from my doctor's appointment tomorrow, I got to go again. Oh my God, I'm tired of this. But anyway, I got to go tomorrow. They got to check my finger out. And now I have that burn on my left hand. I don't even know how I burned it. I didn't feel it, but they saw it. So the nurses that came here today to check me out, they looked at it and they said, I have to report that. Oh, go ahead and report it. It's okay. You're not doing anything wrong. I'm glad you reported it. But anyway, that's what's going on with that. Well, how many minutes we got of the show there, Russ? "12 minutes. My God, this show has gone really fast. Thank you, Russie, baby. He normally calls me Maxie Poo.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Talk about, trying to communicate with extraterrestrials. I decided, okay, I'm ready. This is like 2 years ago. Show me, I'm really ready to see you. It was a beautiful December night. My husband and I were walking back from a restaurant that's near us, and I see this light in the sky, and it's a ship. I know it's a ship, and it's darting back and forth, kind of like saying, "Hi, we're here," and it's freaked me out. So obviously I wasn't ready, but they showed up. So the main thing is just to ask, if you want them to communicate, all you have to do is ask, and they know. Unfortunately, I was at the time. I don't know why I freaked out because I remember asking them, but then it is what it is. Anyway, but yeah, if you ask, they'll answer.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. If some of you have brothers or sisters that their behavior has changed and they're not being themselves, and you know why I'm talking like this, Vanessa? Not about you. It's got nothing about other people. If you see behaviors coming into that either your brother or sister are going through, and that's not normal, it's because they have an attachment, and you need to find a way how to get rid of that. Okay, I think many times if you pray and ask for Archangel Michael to come and help you, ask for him, because he's a warrior of the light. He knows how to get rid of these attachments. Because I lost a good friend very recently, and also a female friend, and not the female, but the male that I lost, a good friend that I really care so much, like a brother. That person had an attachment that changed his behavior, and anyway, I just want to tell if he's listening that I do forgive you for what you said, but And I do love you. And I always will. And I miss you, my brother. That's what I want to say. It's very important that a lot of you out there that had problems with your brother, sister, cousin, or an uncle or an aunt, to please forgive them. It's very important that you forgive them. Even though it costs you a lot of heartbreaks and your heart hurting from all these things, just forgive them. You'll feel a lot better when you forgive them. And even though if they don't accept it, whatever, just send love to this person. And send the highest love you can send to his heart or her. And just forgive them. That's it. That's how you do it.
One of the things that Archangel Michael will do for you, if you call him in, he'll take his sword and he'll cut away all those ties that we talked about, the aqua cords between people. And that also frees that energy that may be attached to you. He'll cut them all away, and then you replace it with blue light or pure light. And I'm telling you, in 5 minutes, your life will totally change. You light a candle first, you bring in Archangel Michael with his sword and ask him to release you and free you from all these ties that are unwanted, negative energies that may have attached to you somehow, all past things that you don't want to be connected with. Because when it's all done, when you think of someone that you love, that reattaches that cord. That's always attached, that you never lose the connection with people you love. But those people who are harming you in some way, or entities that are attached to you, that they will be gone forever. And it's so freeing. That's what forgiveness is freeing yourself.
Exactly. Kenneth, do you have something to say?
No, sir. I'm sorry. No.
Okay. Well, you're welcome to say whatever you want. You're on live radio here. And they're listening to you all over the planet.
Okay.
And that's not all. The Arcturians are listening on the ship right now. Everything we have said up to now. So they are listening. And they feel a lot of the grief that all of you have been going through. And they see that. There are people, the Arcturian people are people of love. They're healers. And what better gratitude to send their healing magic that I call the blue healing magic that they have of healing people, to send them and guidance for me to build an Arcturian box. I call it the Arcturian box because I'm honoring them for what they're doing with me and to help the people of the earth. That's so well needed. They are, go ahead, Kenneth.
I just want to, before time runs out, I just want to say thank you for inviting me onto the show.
Well, you're very welcome. And I hope one day Kent Dunn comes here and speak to all of us. I allow him to come here. I have no problem with him. Our differences that we had, it's gone. It's like new water under the bridge. And Kenneth, since you know him, tell him that, please.
If you return my call, I will.
Okay. All right. Or send him a message on Facebook. Okay.
Okay.
And want to send a message to Perry. What's her last name? Steve? Okay, well, anyway. I can't unmute yourself.
Is it Brent?
Vince, yeah, Perry Vince, if you're listening. When you're ready, you let me know. Okay? I just want to thank everybody here. We only got how many minutes? 5 minutes. I thought it was 4 minutes, but it's okay. 5 minutes. All right. 4 minutes now. Okay, I saw that finger.
So how can people get the Arcturian box? Tell us that.
Okay. You can get the Arcturian box by contacting me on Special Forces, FORCES 1953 at gmail.com. God, my cat just jumped right. He just jumped through here just now. My God. Anyway, and contact me there, and it will be 107.25 starting October 1st. That's pretty low anyway. A lot of people, why you sell it so cheap? Because a lot of people can't afford it. That's number one. If I wanted to, I can charge 350. I tell you what, for you guys that are rich and wealthy and millionaires and billionaires, it'll be $500 plus shipping to send to you wherever you are at, especially the United States too. But to the people that cannot afford, it's 107.25 for the box. Do not open it. If you open it, you'll lose everything inside. You will never get it working again. It's be worthless. That's what the Arcturians told me, and that's what you need to know. That's why I put a security seal on there. Anyway, anybody else here got anything to say? How about you, Russ? You've been quiet.
Oh, that's been a great program here. A lot of information, and welcome Jennifer to the show. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you more often and hearing more from you. And you seem to have a lot of to offer. So we'll be looking forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you.
And great, interesting stuff on your background there, Max and Nicole. As far as there's some things I wasn't aware of. So, I mean, I know there's a lot that could be talked about as far as your life on other planets and this sort of thing there that we really haven't scratched at all. And we've been doing this for quite a while here. So there's always plenty to talk about. So. In the meantime, we got 2.5 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready for that. So go ahead and if you want to let everybody know how to contact you, go right ahead.
Okay, Jennifer, give them the website you got, the HunanWarrior.net or what?
Who's next?
Go ahead and tell your website.
Your website.
My website is HunaWarrior.com, HUNA warrior.com, and that pretty much tells you my writing background, and mainly about my work with Huna. I'm a certified Huna teacher, and it's mainly Hawaiian mysticism and metaphysics that I cover. So that's my.
And who's coming on our show next week?
Oh, Deborah Tavares of StopTheCrime.net. She's fabulous. She knows everything about 5G. She's going to fill us in. I just saw an article today about how California firefighters are hurting because they installed the 5G network right outside their fire stations, and they're showing neurological damage. They have headaches, nausea. There's all kinds of side effects that are being talked about. So Deborah's going to fill us in. Okay,
and after that, on August the 8th, I'm having Gerald O'Donnell coming back, and then I have others guests. I don't have too much time to talk, but thank you for being on the Max Steel Show. I want to thank Jennifer Martin for being here, Kenneth Strader, Steve Huey, my wife, Vanessa, and Russ. And thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next week. And much love to all of you. Thank you. Okay, don't say a word yet. I mean,
your conversation's interesting. He said, well, come sit down. That was Donald Trump, you know, and he had about an hour and a half or so conversation with him, and he's a good man. He's a truly good man.
Yeah. Too, because so many people are just anti-Trump, you know. It's hard to it's hard to reason with people who have such a strong emotional response to whatever they're experiencing, I don't understand it.
I really think that they're the ones that are being brainwashed with the propaganda. And what Trump is doing is